So here is Amala Ekpunobi. Is it Amala or Amala? I feel like this is the Kamala thing all over again. But anyway, she posted a video about the recent ICE raids in LA, and of course she is in favor of them because she's a fascist propagandist who used to work for PragerU, by the way. And she is going to explain why she is in favor of those rates in this clip here.
And we're going to read what they've posted on X about a lot of the work they're doing here in LA when it
The good work they're doing in LA
comes to deportation of illegal aliens. Now, Homeland Security writes to the LA rioters, "You will not stop us or slow us down." So there you go. The protesting and rioting is really making its mark and making a difference. ICE will continue to enforce the law and arrest criminal illegal aliens. Now, criminal is a pretty important word there. They say below is a list of some of the violent criminal aliens arrested in ICE's Los Angeles operation on June 9th and 10th. We go and read here, a 53-year-old illegal alien from Cambodia. And this guy's crime history involves conviction for transport of a controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance, and lewd action with a child and battery. Next one, a 60.
Okay, so it's pretty obvious what she's doing here. She's trying to make it seem as though all of the people that ICE is arresting are, violent criminals, which is just obviously not true. I mean, you have, Stephen Miller imposing a quota of 3,000 arrests a day, which I think is probably not going to include only violent criminals. Let's be real. And the fact is, ICE is very clearly not arresting violent criminals. Yeah, so ICE is conducting raids at hotels, restaurants, farms, Home Depots, fucking elementary schools, where all of the terrorists are, at the schools, that third grade, that Jorge Rodriguez, he's causing a big stir there at, the elementary school. But no, I mean, let's be real. If ICE was only arresting violent criminals, I'd be cool with that. But the point is they're not. This is the American SS, right? They are terrorizing, vulnerable populations because our president is a massive racist. And we have a lot of racists in this country who want to see immigrants who are otherwise, other than crossing the border, they are law-abiding people, more so than, Americans themselves. But, they're brown, so they're gross.
56-year-old illegal alien from Laos who was convicted of lewd and lascivious acts with a child under 14. Los Angeles from methamphetamine. Let's read one more. An arrest by ICE in Los Angeles of an...
This is just propaganda, by the way. They really think that we believe ICE is primarily arresting violent criminals. That's just not true. It's not true. Let's not forget that Trump sent hundreds of people to El Salvador, 90% of which didn't have a criminal record. So we believe that ICE is mostly arresting violent criminals. Sure.
Illegal alien from Mexico who was arrested for human smuggling and money laundering. So I have a feeling these guys are not the ones who are doing your dishes, mowing your lawn, or picking the organic fruit that you buy from the farmer's market.
You're right, those people aren't, but most of the people being arrested are those people you just described. The ones who are picking the fruit, mowing the lawn, cleaning people's houses. Go fuck yourself.
On a Sunday when you go to Melrose Trading Post or something like that. I don't know what you guys are up to, but this sort of utopian view that everybody is here with 5 pesos in their pocket and a dream is just not correct. And while
who is dreaming up a utopia where poor people from third world countries arrive with nothing in their pockets except for 5 pesos, which is nothing? What? That's a utopian vision to you?
I can have an amount of sympathy, empathy for somebody who wants to make it to this country in order to exercise the opportunities that are awarded here to those who live here. We have a legal process for doing that. Now, you can argue that our legal process should be expanded and that we should allow for more immigration into this country through a legal means. But when people are entering this country illegally and start
Lots of people are entering legally under asylum claims. And let's not fucking pretend that like the way to legally, if you are in imminent danger, right? Or if your family is like surviving on a thread, right? They're fucking dying essentially. And your best opportunity to like feed your family and also like, you know, send money back to your other poor family members is to, you know, work in the United States. You're not going to wait 15 years for the, you know, the correct legal immigration process to do that. It's just not feasible.
starting their relationship with this country on a criminal basis, what more
No, it's not starting your relationship with this country on a criminal basis. If you cross the border, the first time you cross the border illegally, it's a civil violation. It's a misdemeanor. It's no different, legally speaking, than driving over the speed limit. Now, if you get deported and you cross the border again, then it becomes a felony. But the first time, it's a misdemeanor.
do you expect than for ICE and our government to enforce our immigration policy? That's what you should ask of your government as a U.S. citizen. Now, even the New York Post acknowledges here migrants busted in LA include convicted sex abusers, drug dealers, and gang members. Okay.
That's great if they only arrested those people. You don't think that law enforcement in this country is, you know, has sophisticated enough technology, information, yada yada, to find these violent criminals and arrest them? We have to do it by, you know, throwing a dragnet that, you know, captures all of these, you know, innocent people who are just trying to like make a living to support their family in this country or back in Mexico or wherever. Those people, you know, deserve to be rounded up. What? This is so. Oh, I have sympathy for people who want to come here to escape, you know, grinding poverty or, you know, violence against their family, you know, various other forms of oppression. But you got to do it legally, and you have to wait 15 years for that. That's how sympathetic I am.
Okay, so are these not individuals that we collectively want off of our streets? And if they have entered our country on an illegal basis, maybe we want them out of the country as well. I hate to.
As well as who? As well, meaning in addition to all of the people who just like come here to work and are otherwise law-abiding, you know, people. Crazy, dude. I'm so sympathetic though to those people who I want to be thrown out, just like the violent, you know, rapists and murderers and whatnot. Because they're basically the same. They're basically the same.
To consistently bring up this case, but it is a case that shook the United States to its core. It's the case of Laken Riley, a girl who was murdered by an illegal.
They always go back to Laken Riley. Yes, that is a tragedy. That is a tragedy. Yeah, throw out the violent criminals. I have no problem with that. But I'm sorry, you know, Jose, who like picks lettuce, and otherwise like, you know, keeps to himself, keeps to his family, you know, goes bowling with his friends or whatever, should not be thrown out of the country or, you know, kept out of this country because, yeah, someone was murdered. Bad. That was bad. Yeah. But so what? We no more immigrants then? Is that the solution? Makes sense. Yeah, other people who are fleeing violence should not be able to flee violence and should die because there was a violent criminal who murdered someone. That's solid logic.
Alien who put her through an over 17-minute battle for her life and sexually assaulted her. Now, of course, Laken Riley ended up
Horrible.
dead. Her life was taken by an illegal alien, and an illegal alien that had quite the rap sheet and quite the criminal convictions. So do we not want these individuals taken care of and taken out of our country? Yes or no? And if we can acknowledge that ICE and our immigration system as it stands.
Right, but why would you make that argument unless you want everyone to be thrown in jail or everyone to be deported? Like, we're talking about fucking, you know, school teachers We're talking about agricultural workers. We're talking about construction workers. We're talking about like, the most law abiding people in this country on average. Yes, there are terrible people who enter this country illegally, and I agree those people should be punished when they commit crimes, when they commit violent crimes. Absolutely. But stop trying to equate them. They're not the same. They're not the same. Why else bring up Lake and Riley in a conversation about immigrants who are fucking day laborers and are getting arrested at Home Depots?
Today is working on that very basis. Shouldn't we be cheering them on instead of taking to the streets, protesting, rioting with stupid, ridiculous signs that...
Yeah, everybody in LA was rioting because violent criminals were being arrested. Good job, Amala. So smart.
Sort of prove that we should not be taken seriously. Is that maybe what should be happening? I don't know. But we seem to have this view that every single immigrant that is deported by ICE is just this law-abiding individual who's coming into America to do no harm, to just...
No, that's something you made up. You're just talking out of your ass. Who says that? Who says that? Nobody's saying that. You're saying that, but nobody else is.
In fact, we are so often duped by this idea that people on the internet have been getting tricked by a fake audio. It's not necessarily a fake audio. It's an audio from a movie of a young girl crying about her mother being taken away by ICE. Now you're going to see a long list of people hopping on TikTok and crying to this audio because they cannot believe that ICE is separating a mother from her child.
Okay, so someone made a fake video. Like, what does that prove? Does that disprove the fact that, ICE literally did rip a child away from their mother and it was caught on video. There was no fake audio required. All right, let's see if this is just fake audio. Let's see if this is fake audio. And that ICE is not really ripping children away from their parents.
By our Telemundo New England cameras.
Stop, ma'am! Stop! Stop!
Definitely a chaotic scene on Eureka Street Thursday as Worcester police and ICE agents detained a mother and her 16-year-old daughter. That girl's face slammed into the ground as she was taken into custody. They have not been identified. Worcester police said officers were dispatched to the area for a report of a federal agent surrounded by about 24 people. When police arrived, they say the teen daughter was holding a newborn baby in her arms and standing in front of the ICE vehicle that was trying to leave with their mother inside. Officers told her she was endangering the baby.
Yeah, I bet that the mom and daughter they arrested, they were violent criminals who were running around raping and killing people. But yeah, look, guys, Amala is very clearly a propagandist. This is what she has to do. She's a former PragerU alumni, and she has been trained to defend fascism, defend Donald Trump, no matter what his policies are, how inhumane and disgusting they are. But, that's just the way it is. She has to make that money. I get it in this economy. But there you go. That's it for me, guys. I'm going to go take a nap. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye-bye.